Welcome, welcome. Today, I'm just going to sit there and tell you a little bit about how things work for me. I've been a lucky, lucky child my whole life. And when I was growing up, I guess you can say I was unlucky and lucky at the same time. Had a difficult time with parents. My father was one of those guys that were kind of heavy handed, so you had to be growing up in the 80s and being able to take a little licking. My mom was one of those that turned a blind eye to everything that was happening to her children, only because she couldn't defeat that beast that was inside of my father. So I wind up being a protector, guardian. Houston, we have a problem. Houston, there's a solution. And there always was a little solution. So I'm not going to tell you a sad story, but this little kid that went through a lot defending his family from inside the womb till 16 years old was always blessed. He was blessed by angels. He was blessed by God. He was chosen by God to walk this path. And I'm not sitting there trying to pull you into a religion. I just need you to understand that there is a creator, most high. Male, female, can't tell you that because spirit doesn't show feminine or masculine. There's just something that's just perfection. And I know I'm part of that perfection. I know that I was always a superhuman. When I was a little kid, I used to believe, things I see on TV, that it was possible for me to be that superhero or that X-Man or that person with that capability and power. Just like all of us. Now, when you walk your path in life, you got to be aware. You really do. And I was lucky enough that after my 16 years, went into the military. After the military, went out into the world, 68 different countries. And I'm going to tell you, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Had no other experience except for playing baseball and the military and meeting people, getting to know them, treating them like a human being, loving everybody. That child inside of me was always in there. You understand? So when I look at you and I sit there and tell a joke or I make you smile, I see that if you're an adult, that's not the adult smiling. That's that little child that's smiling inside with all that big heart. I know how blessed we are. There's probably only 144,000 of us that were really chosen to love the world, to love the people, to protect the people. And I know that because when I was in 68 different countries bouncing around, I had found different stories, different evidence. Anything that I've learned when I was in New York going to school was smacked away because I was hearing from the horse's mouth from 68 different countries. So that European history that I got and that American history I got, I found out, whoo, that was a big lie. Really big lie. Yeah? But a lot of us don't want to face those big lies. So here's my testimony. After hitting those 68 countries, you sit there and there's a part of you that changes over, like those stories in religion and stories like Buddha and Krishna and Jesus and Muhammad. You have this prophet, but these prophets hit that age around 33, 35, and just like an adult, you become that type of prophet when you're 33, 35, because when you're young, you don't have any adult experiences. You do understand that there's reasoning and there's understanding, and you could sit there and manipulate that for a little while, but you're distracted. I wasn't as distracted like most people. I was really, like I said, I was blessed. I didn't have to sit there inside of one country for the rest of my life. I also didn't have to focus on studying at one school or one idea or one aspect and focus on that for 40 years. I was lucky. After the military, I wound up playing baseball. and played it in 68 different countries, bouncing around, getting paid for it, wind up getting shelter, automobile, you name it, everything that everyone stresses for, in their own countries. But I was lucky enough to see that the whole world, wherever I went in 68 countries, I did not have my immediate family, but I did meet human family. And I've met some great people, great hearts, great souls. I don't know if you really understand this, but there is only one race, it's a human race. There is only one species, it's a human species when it comes to us. Of course, there are a lot of other species in the world, animal, reptile, fowl, etc., aquatic. But I'm talking about us, the ones that walk on two legs. We are one family. We've always been one family. When I was living in New York, they had that sort of like race card flying around, and everyone was believing that there was some type of color. But the colors that they were explaining to us, none of us were that color. Because if you look at the Crayola crayon box, nobody's that white, nobody's that black, nobody's that brown. So nobody's that red, nobody's that yellow. But if you look at it, the human family, yeah, there's a lot of differences in the way our features are, the tone of skin we're in, but everything seems to be the same. You never were born with your eyes on your knees. You never were born with your nose on your behind. You were never born with your shoulders on your toes. You are perfection. You are beautiful. And you came here from somewhere far away. Definitely. If your parents got together and they created a seed, or they incubated a seed inside the mother, and mother created a vessel for you, part of you came from somewhere else. You didn't come from that seed, and you didn't come from that vessel. You are a spiritual being. That spirit does not come from 2 cans of beer and just sitting down making out and then creating a child. That essence, that spirit comes from somewhere special. So you are divine, and you need to understand how divine you are. All the stories that we've heard in the past, especially my generation, you should have been awakened by now. They have this woke society, but no one understands what woke really is. I mean, when you're sleeping, alarm goes off. I'm woke. I'm awoke. Oh, I'm awake. Yep, that's it. I just got up. Now, am I awakened? No, you're definitely not awakened. You're not awakened until you step into your spirituality. You're not awakened until you stop that negative speaking, that negative thinking, that negative acting. You are a powerful vessel. Me, I know I'm royalty. I know I was chosen by the God Most High. And I know there's a lot of you that also, but none of you believe it. So you can't really attest that you're chosen. I know I definitely am, because I've watched my family steal things from me. I've watched my inheritance get taken from me. And I gave it away. I'm like, you guys want to steal it? Hey, take it. You want to have it? Knock yourself out. Because I have been blessed, and I'm always blessed. No matter what country I come to, I find a human family, a human mother, a human father, a human brother, sister, uncle, aunt, grandmother, great-grandmother. I find it in every country. Just like recently, I came back from the States a couple of years ago. And I don't get my immediate family. They're probably blood related, but they're not spiritual related. They're probably just karmically related. But every time I get a lesson from them, I learn. And I know that people put spells on each other. Verbally you can cast a spell, mentally you can cast a spell. That's just that negative part of you. I mean, you're probably not brewing a brew and sprinkling toad's eye and monkey knuckles. There's a part of you verbally and mentally and spiritually that you can say negative things, and it goes out there and it spells somebody. Now, I won't do that to you. I will greet you and meet you like the beautiful essence that you are. I will see that divine being in you. I always will. I will always compliment on it. And I'm sure I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable because I see that beauty in you. And you might not see that beauty in you. But there's something so freaking fantastic about us. I just need you to know. I need you to feel it. I need you to see it. Go out there. I mean, you can go ahead and look in the mirror and get yourself all razzed up. Speak with this. Speak with this. Think with this. You know? Hear the beautiful things. You have more than the five senses, but you got to investigate it. There's more to our story than you could ever think about or that was ever given to us. You know, that education system, that's something special. There's a system that ties us down, and that system has categories: education, economics, entertainment, labor, law, religion, politics, war, sex. So, those are the things we are under attack 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. They attack us in all those categories. Once you toss them up to the side, then you step into your spirituality because that is not part of you. You know, that's something that we wind up being indoctrinated to, conditioned into. But there's something called discernment, and there's something that you are created from in this divine image. I need you to understand and research that. Search out what it is, because once you meet another human being and you guys get along, you love and you trust each other, there's a beautiful bond. And when I walk out, I sit there and love all of you and I trust all of you. I mean, you really have to show me something to really get me to turn away from you. But there's something that I know I'll feel. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I just can't be too honest to this person because they're kind of shady. Oh, we already know all those discernments. I mean, we perfected that at 2 years old. You remember when your parents said, no, no, you can't do this, or your father, mothers, uncles, no, you can't do this, and those adults, you already knew that you're doing it. Huh? I wonder why you can do it. I wonder why you don't believe in Santa Claus. I wonder why you don't believe in the Tooth Fairy. You want me to believe in the Tooth Fairy. Yeah, it's very easy. I just need you to know that you are perfect. You always walked in that perfection. You are the child of wonder, and you're amazing. I just want you to go out there today. Think about how beautiful you are. Think about how beautiful the world is. Understand how beautiful people are. And understand that we're just one race, the human race. All right, I love you guys. I'll come back to you on the next video. Have a beautiful, wonderful day.